Greetings from Yerushalayim. This week I want to talk about reruns. As a kid growing up, and these are the days before VCRs and DVRs, I used to watch a lot of reruns. And I have no idea why I was so attracted to reruns. I mean, I knew the outcome, but I guess because it gave me a certain sense of joy and pleasure. Almost like when you listen to songs over and over again. There's certain songs that you know, those are your songs, that's your playlist. And yet, we know the songs, and yet, we're attracted to them. Parshas Vayakhel this week is a rerun of Parshas Truma. And I could say for me that it hasn't been the most engaging of all the Parshiyot, because even though there are some differences in the Parsha, and important differences, it's never been the most robust of my learning. Again, I'm not an architect. I don't know how the pins with the curtains and the beams and all comes together and how they made the kalim and how the women did the weaving. But I want to point out a Rabbeinu Bachai, chapter 38, verse 5, that reminds me of the Gemara in Brachot that tells us that when we study Torah, especially the Torah that is not practical for today, it can't be in play today, or it has no relevance to me personally, the reward for that Torah learning, that time spent, reaches the heights of heaven. I think that infers that the reward is very great. And so, when it comes to Torah learning and review and reruns, there's a Gemara in Sanhedrin, pointed out to me by Rabbi Dr. Gideon Rothstein, 99a, quoting Rabbi Yeshua ben Korcha, who some say was Rabbi Akiva's son, that someone who studies Torah and doesn't review is like a farmer who plants and doesn't harvest. So when we listen to a shiur, we listen to a class, and we love the message. If we don't review it and don't synthesize it into our own lives, it's like we've planted, but we haven't harvested. So the importance of review plays a major role in Torah study and demonstrating to ourselves about the value of Torah. So take a moment and think about in your own lives. When do you set aside time to review what you've learned? When you've heard a class, you heard a lecture, and it inspired you, did you take the time to write it down? Did you put it in your notes? Did you put it somewhere where you can listen to it again and again? That's the importance and the message maybe of Vayakhel. Building a home for Hashem, well, we talked about this many times before. Building a home for Hashem doesn't always mean a physical structure, but within ourselves. And how is that done? Review and review and review those things that are important. Just like the song that you love to listen to over and over again. Find the song of Torah. Find that tune that speaks to you and play it over till it becomes a part of you. Regards from Yerushalayim. I'll see you back on the other side next week. This week is Shabbos Mevarchim and Parsha Shkolem. A lot of good stuff coming your way. If you like what you hear, please pass it on. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Shabbat Shalom from Yerushalayim.